Are you wondering what's coming next in your life? Like something's shifting, but you can't quite see what yet? Maybe you're questioning a situation, wondering if it's going to work out, or change, or just stay the same. That uncertainty can be frustrating because you can feel something's coming, you just don't have clarity on what it is yet. I've read for people in this exact position, trying to understand what's ahead and what direction things are actually moving in. By the way, I'm Karen, and today I have a pick a card reading for you to give you clarity on what's coming next. So let's look at the three piles. Okay, here are our three piles. We have pile one, which has the most beautiful labradorite stone. We have pile two that has a stunning malachite stone. And we have pile three with a beautiful amethyst stone. And you just want to pick the one that you're most drawn to. Don't overthink it. Go with your first instinct. If you already have a question in mind, focus on that as you choose. And if you don't, that's totally fine. Just pick a pile and the reading will show you what you need to know about what's coming next. And if during the reading a question comes up for you as you listen, you'll get that clear yes/no answer with a small amount of detail with it at the end of the reading on top of all of it as well. So if you have more than one question, you can just come back and pick another pile and go again. You will find the timestamps in the description below this video if you want to jump to your pile. So let's get started with pile one. Okay, welcome to pile one. For this, we have this labradorite. And labradorite is a stone of transformation that also enhances your intuition. And that has a lot actually to do with this reading. So we're going to put that up there. And the significator for this reading, we have strength. And this is all about your inner strength. Your confidence, your inner peace are all important to the question you have around what's coming next for you. So we're going to be doing, as you can see, a full Celtic cross to get all the details so you can see how all the different aspects of your question are affecting your outcome and your answer and stuff. And then finally, once we've done all of that and you know exactly what's going on, we'll do the yes/no question at the end so that you get that yes/no. So again, I've used this as a significator to both of these to kind of channel the energy of this pile through to get this reading. And that's where this reading is coming from. So what is going to happen next? For the first card, we have the Three of Cups. And at the moment, you're pretty happy with how things are going around your inner strength and your peace of mind to do with your question. And it's pretty strong, solid, grounded for you with this peace of mind because you've got a really good long lineage. You've got sort of like the maiden mother crone energy in here. And you've got a very good lineage ancestors of very strong women in your family. And that has given you this core strength to do whatever it is that you're wanting to do around your question. And that's going to hold you in really good stead. And what's currently going on with it, we have the Knight of Cups for this. And that means you're currently exploring and pushing your intuition, basically, your intuition here, into new territories and coming at the expansion. You're coming at it through love, through grace, through humility, and you're going about it in all the right ways. So you're right now in a pretty good position as it relates to your question around your inner strength and your intuition. So that's where we are as a baseline. Hopefully that is ringing true for you, because that's going to be the foundation of this. And if so, drop a like. I'd appreciate that. In your deep past around this question, we have the Empress reversed. And for this, I'm just going to move this a little bit up. I'm a little squashed for space here. In the past, you've been dealt a lot of blows with your femininity. Maybe you've struggled to have children. You felt you have to be more masculine to succeed in your career, to grow and improve yourself. Whatever it is for you, the divine feminine has been one of your stumbling blocks that's been holding you back from where you want to go in life and all different aspects of your life, at least around this question. So having this strong lineage is kind of keeping you grounded, but it hasn't made you feel more feminine, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does, especially with this aspect. And this is one of the aspects that you need to work on, because I am assuming you are female with watching this, since 99% of my channel seems to be female. So one of the things you want to work on is strengthening that divine feminine so that you get that balance back. I know I've been there. We're all sort of channeled more towards the divine masculine in this world, and you really need that divine feminine to come through for this whole thing to happen, this reading, which means your question. So what's happened recently around your question? Well, for this, we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. And what this says is, recently, the practical, physical aspects related to your question have been kind of all over the place. You've done your best to control the chaos, and to some extent you've succeeded, but it's been a struggle and you're still feeling kind of, a little off balance about it. And maybe this is because whatever your question is relates and needs this divine feminine, and you're still struggling with this a little bit. But there is that little bit of unbalance in the recent past around your question. So what we're going to look at next is your fears around this question. And for this, we have the Nine of Wands reversed. And what you're afraid of is you're not aware. You're afraid you're not aware enough around you of what's going on or to do with your question. And part of you, it doesn't like surprises, because you prefer to be in control of things, which again is part of this sort of more divine masculine than divine feminine. You like to be in control, and you're really worried that you're not aware enough of everything to actually be in control around this question, which is stressing you out a little bit. And you're worried that what's coming is going to give you a lot of stress, even with that beautiful inner sense of peace that you have. Maybe it's just not enough for what's coming. This is just so different from what you normally experience in life, that this is actually quite a big stress point for you. And it ties in, I think, with this needing to be the more feminine around this question. The next one we're going to look at is your hopes and dreams around this question. Sorry, I need to flip that way. And for this, we have the Four of Swords reversed. And what this tells me is you are hoping for a massive transformation that will redefine your entire life. And you're putting all your manifesting skills and your frequency into pulling that into your life. And you're asking your inner strength and support to help you as the rocket's been in your life to bring in this new future that you really want, that is going to be your, almost your legacy kind of thing, but, you're going to be living it. So it's this perfect life that you want, and you're going to put everything you can in to get that. And at the moment, if you can really start to embrace that feminine side of the strength and stuff, that will help you get over those fears. And then that is going to be stronger than that. So you've got a fair amount of good chance that that is going to beat out your fears, and you're not going to be just consumed by the fear and curl up and not do it. So the next one we are going to look at is other people and how they relate to your question. And for that, we have the Seven of Wands. And what that says to me is other people have taken a step back around your question, to do with your question, and are no longer fighting you on it, about it, whatever it's about. And this is helping you maintain that peace of mind and strengthening your ability to pull this towards you. So this is actually helping you with your hopes and dreams and pushing away that fear, because this one is like you don't have any sort of outside obstacles against it anymore. Now it's just down to you, and your inner strength is so strong and your intuition is so strong that this is actually supporting you. The fact that these people have stepped back and stopped like bugging you about it and saying, well, why do you want that? That's not for you, and whatever else they've been saying along the way, or not believing you along the way. So let's have a look next at your expectations. And for this, we have the Two of Cups reversed. And what this says to me is you're not expecting this to affect how you relate to other people and how they see you. Instead, you're going to keep relying on this inner strength and knowing, and it doesn't matter what others think of you or what you think of them. All that matters is what you think of and feel about yourself, because it's all about your inner world at this point, your intuition, your inner world. We've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reversals so far. That's a massive percentage of this spread. So this is really all about your inner world. And while we started with, you in the practical sense, everything else has been about your inner world. So what is coming next? What is the next step through this? And we have another reversal. We have the Moon reversed in this case. And what that's saying to me is that the veil is going to be lifted over whatever your question is, and you're going to get clarity around your answer. The lies, the half-truths, they're all going to sort of fall away in the dead of night, and all the irrelevant noise and stuff that's going on in your head will just simply vanish, and this nice defined path that you need to follow will just suddenly appear for you and make it all much more obvious and sort of much clearer about what's going on. So let's have a look at the outcome. And we have another reversal. So this is 8 out of 10 reversals. So this is a seriously inner topic question that you have here. And for the outcome, we have the High Priestess reversed. And what that means to me is that the outcome will be a massive deepening of your intuition and your consciousness growth. It's a really, like I said, really internal process, the whole spread that is happening to you. And we only actually have one court card, so you are the only person involved in this, which is not surprising when it's so internal. but you are the only person. And we're going to go from sort of being a bit unbalanced to being, you know where you are, you know where you stand, you know what your strengths are, and so on. And the future is going to reveal a lot to you. And it's going to help you grow in a way that you are really wanting. This is a massive spiritual growth path around your intuition, basically. And you're not going to be that surprised about the outcome, because this is saying that you're not really thinking about other people involved in this. And this is basically saying that, yeah, it's all internal. This is all to do with you, your inner strength, and so on. So your question doesn't really relate to other people, and they've stepped back from it, which, we can see. So you have a lot supporting you to this. And this is one of the weaker ones, your fears, and nothing is supporting it other than your sort of stumbling block with the divine feminine. So if you can work on your divine feminine, these fears will go away and you are more likely to move towards what you're hoping for and get this progression of this nice veil lifting and massive inner growth with your intuition. So let's have a look at the yes-no aspect of your question. And for this, we have the Six of Swords. And that means it is a yes. And the details around that are you're going to be mentally moving to a new phase after this. Because of all this growth, this is going to take you to a whole new place, maybe, a whole new place in consciousness. You've done the consciousness learning in this. This is such a massive level up. My gut is telling me this is probably something to do with the ascension that's happening, because you've got the consciousness learning, you've got the massive inner growth, and you've sort of lifted the veil, and you're trying to balance with this divine feminine, and you are wanting to grow into that, your best self. And you're going to do it with the support of this beautiful inner strength, inner peace that you have. And please like, subscribe, and drop a comment if that resonated. And if you want something more detailed towards you individually, I do personal readings. You can find a link in the comments below. And I am Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, welcome to pile 2. So I'm going to put stone there. And for this is our guiding energy. And what we have here is the wide world. So this is essentially the world card, with a beautiful vista that just goes on forever, and all this little magic down here. And basically it's saying you have the whole world ahead of you and all its beauty, and you are just perfectly in tune with it, just like the stag is just in tune with nature. It is your playground. It is just heavenly. So that is the guiding energy for this reading. So we're going to start, and what we have for the first card is the Page of Cups. This is where you are now. This is sort of about you. And what this is saying is you're creative, artsy type of person who's happy talking to your guides and using your imagination to visualize things. You're very open, very sensitive. You're open to what the universe brings you. You can see it coming because of that openness. You're tuned in, which goes with this. You're sort of in tune with your world. So you're that kind of person. You're probably an empath. That sort of thing is where you are now. And what is currently happening to you? And for that, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So currently, the physical side of life is a bit of a struggle, unfortunately. So, maybe you've lost your job, you can't work, it's a health issue. It's going to be different because this is a general reading. It's going to be a little different for everyone listening, but it's some physical aspect that you are dealing with that's not working as well as you'd like right now. And it might even be, if you have a question, what that question is about. It might not be, but it might be. But that's currently what is you and what's going on with you right now. So let's have a look at what was in the past. We have the Fool reversed. So what that's saying is your mind, you're used to, it used to not be in control of everything. You used to have like the little yappy mind just going nuts in your head, voices, over and over and over, thoughts continually appearing and pulling you into a roller coaster with all the negative self-talk. And it stopped you feeling that freedom and lightness of being you so desperately crave inside. And so that's where you're kind of coming from as a foundation. And if this is resonating with you, please like and subscribe and help grow the channel. Recent past, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. And what this is saying is recently you might have gone through a bad breakup or just a bad argument with your significant other. Whatever it is that's happened, something or someone has left you hurting, which can be very hard for someone who is open to feeling as much as you do and as deeply as you do. So we've got that very painful recent past event. Next, we're going to have a look at what your fears are around this. And for this, we have the Tower reversed. And what that's saying to me is you're afraid that what's happened is going to destroy that inner peace you've got, that childlike wonder, the sense of the world being like, this magical, wonderful place. And instead, you'll end up becoming jaded by it and just lose this joy and not be this sort of like imaginative, childlike glee everywhere. So that's what you're afraid of because of what's happened here. And what you're hoping for, we have the moon. Oops, this way. We have the moon. And what that's saying to me is what you're hoping for is you can actually hide this hurt from yourself, like bury it deep inside you so you don't have to deal with it. And you're hoping that will protect you. But what you're really doing, if you actually examine that thought, is you're hoping to lie to yourself, which honestly is not going to work in the long term. This is how you create problems. So your current hopes about what's going on are not really going to help you. They're not on your side. You're not thinking in the right direction for this one. You really need to start what you are rethinking what you're hoping for, is my guess. But this is currently what you are hoping for. So how other people are interacting with the whole of this. And for that, we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So what that's saying to me, others involved in this, whatever your question is, and it could be around your question, it could be just around this, they are being really super picky. And basically, they are extremely dissatisfied with something, bringing it up point after point after point, examining all the tiny little microscopic details, which for someone as sensitive as you can be so overwhelming. So that's adding quite a lot of pressure to this whole situation, which isn't good, especially when your biggest fear is that you're going to lose your center, basically, and you're wanting to pretend it hasn't happened. So let's have a look at what you're actually expecting to happen with this. And we have the Five of Wands reversed. Now, this to me says you're expecting the fight and stress to end, at least externally. However, given what we've got down here with your past history, you're also expecting that this negative self-talk might come back. So the whole fighting thing just goes internal, bringing back that yappy mind you thought you got rid of already. And this stress here is just adding yet more stress to the entire situation. So, we've got picky people who are influencing it. You're scared of losing, your center, and you used to have a really yappy mind and you're terrified it might come back, and it's all because of whatever this hurt was recently, and you're trying to just pretend it isn't existing. So we're in a bit of a kind of a mess, really. So what is coming next? The very next step. And what we have for that is the Seven of Swords. And this reinforces this. You're going to be wanting to lie to yourself. And the other thing is you're going to be, I think, making a rash, limiting decision based on all of this. Something, if this was like a breakup kind of thing, some kind of like limiting decision like all men are liars, or something that just isn't going to serve you going forwards, and will probably end up actually stealing more of your inner peace than doing anything else. But that next step goes in line with your hopes as well, like I said, of you lying to yourself. So you can see here we're kind of like something went wrong and you've spiraled, essentially. And we need to break this spiral because this is not a good path to go down. So let's have a look at the outcome. For this, we have the Two of Cups. So if this was an actual breakup, this is actually saying you're actually about to meet someone new. If it wasn't a breakup, what you're going to do is walk a mile in someone else's shoes, probably whoever it is that hurt you, so that you really get to understand them, why they said and did what they did. And that will give you, hopefully, the learning to get through this. However, to make this a positive experience, you need to clear up this emotional baggage. You can't just pretend that you can bury it. You need to actually reverse. If you've made this limiting decisions, you need to reverse it, and you need to stop burying it, stop being afraid of facing it, and actually come full circle. You got rid of this before, you can do it again. Because if you don't, all this emotional baggage you're going to take into this next relationship, because if the lesson wasn't learnt in the last one, it'll be learnt in the next one, and you don't want that, because it tends to be worse the second time and third time around. So you need to kind of clear this up, and there are ways to do this. You can look at the situation and work out what you learned from it. Start writing, journal out if this is the way you work. If not, list it in your head, imagine it, whatever it is for you that works best. And write down all the good things you got from it. And even the bit that went hurtful, what did you learn from it? What did you learn about yourself from it? Because that will teach you what you need to know to break whatever this loop is that's going on. So let's have a look at your yes/no question. If you asked one, if you didn't ask one, that's fine, just leave it out. But if you did, we have the Devil reversed. The answer is no. Do not fall into what you're tempted to do. It is not the right path. So there we have that. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment if this resonated. And if you'd like a personal reading or any help to get through this and break this loop, I do offer readings. There is a link in the description below. And I'm also an energy healer, so I can help you through this if you need. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome to the reading for pile 3. I will put that up there, and let's have a look at the focus card. For this, we have the Weaver of Challenges. This is reversed. This is essentially the Queen of Swords reversed. So I'm going to put that up there. And I think it's interesting because this card is saying you have some challenging thoughts that are giving you a lot of stress and anxiety at the moment. And this stone is about reducing stress and anxiety. So I can see if this is going on, why you were attracted to this pile with this stone. So I think that's actually quite interesting for this reading. So let's have a look. We have Celtic Cross. And for card 1, we have the 10 of Wands reversed. And this to me says you have a lot of inner burdens weighing you down that you're carrying around with you everywhere you go. And your higher self is urging you to start putting them down. It's time to let go of some of these thoughts and beliefs that cause you so much stress. And it wants you to know you're loved unconditionally and you don't have to carry this any longer. So what is going on currently with you? And for this, we have the Hangman. That says currently you're going through a phase of spiritual growth, and it's got to do with letting go of these challenging thoughts and beliefs that are basically cutting you up from the inside out. So this is where you currently are, and again, why you're attracted to this. You're in basically a stress and anxiety bubble. If this is resonating, drop a like and subscribe. Help grow the channel. I'd appreciate it. So let's have a look at your past. And for this, we have the Sun, your foundation. This, to me, is you were incredibly happy, free, joyful, having a wonderful time. So you actually personally know what freedom and happiness feels like. You're just literally stuck in this temporary bubble. And to me, this is almost like this is more of your personality. This is the more authentic you. This is just a spiritual growth challenge that you're going through. And you want to return to this because, well, that's the happiest card in the deck. So why wouldn't you want to return to that? So what's gone on recently that's brought all this about? And for this, we have the High Priestess reversed. And what that says to me is you recently feel like you've lost your way, maybe even lost your connection to your higher self, your guide, source, whatever you want to call it. But you haven't actually lost that connection because that's not possible. We are all one and you can't lose yourself. But you've chosen for this experience, you had chosen to experience that as a lost connection in order to really bring awareness, more awareness to this challenge that you're going through. So it feels more intense and hopefully pushes you through, like fixing it, whatever you want to say, solving it, getting rid of the stress, getting rid of these beliefs that no longer serve you, that don't align with you any longer, and actually having some growth. Because it's like you're like, oh my goodness, life sucks. I'm super stressed, and now I can't even contact my guides. That's just gotten worse. So that was just an experience you chose to help push you into solving this and to getting this learning so that you can progress to the next level. So let's have a look at what you are afraid of around this challenge. And for this, we have the Moon reversed, which is really freaking interesting. What this says is you're afraid of the truth. You know the thoughts and beliefs, the baggage that's stressing you out, you know it's not aligned to you. But if you let it go now, what does it say about the life you've lived up to now? What does it say about you and your principles that you've based, your life on, your values? So letting these lies go and seeing them for the truth that's really there instead, I get it. It can be incredibly scary. So this is actually a really big thing, and it's a major card. So what you need to do is ask yourself, is it better to let your ego mind carry on believing these lies? Or would you rather sit in your truth and become more of your authentic self and get back to this happiness, and find the learning that will prepare you for your next phase? Because whatever you are learning from this, it's going to be exactly what you need for what's coming next. Maybe next, maybe just down the line, but it's going to be exactly what you need. You just have to have the courage to face this truth of these beliefs and let them go. And that's quite a big thing. I realize that you can do this. So let's have a look at what you are hoping for. And we actually have strength reversed. What I'm getting from this is you're hoping your inner strength doesn't fail you and doesn't let you down, that you can actually manage to get through this. Which, no offense, seems a bit wishy-washy, considering the strength of this fear. I think the best thing you could do is find yourself a big thing you want to work towards once this stress is gone. What will happen when you get rid of this stress? What will happen that you really want? Because we are driven, the power of why and all that. What are you driven by? At the moment, you're driven by the fear, because this is way more powerful than hoping your inner strength doesn't fail. So you could really use some bolstering in here. Really try and visualize what you want your life to be, like it used to be, the happiness, the joy, the freedom. If we had this card over here, I'd say, oh yeah, this is really good. You're going to be really motivated. But we don't. We have this instead. So this needs some work. You need to really think about why you want to get through this growth opportunity. And it is an opportunity, and it's a massive opportunity. We've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 major cards now. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 major cards. So it's a big deal here, okay? And it's this spiritual growth. So you want to work on this one, okay? So let's have a look at all the people surrounding you, your environment, all that lot, all the people involved. And we have another major card. So that makes it an even bigger deal. And for this, we have death. The people around you, your guides, your higher self, source, whatever you want to call them, they are all hoping that you go through this massive change. And they are going to do everything in their power to help you. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing. That it's going to be on you, this sun. They can see this light that's going to be coming through you once you've done this and got this courage to get over this, and you actually manage to get through this. They are there for you. They are rooting for you. They are giving you everything you've got, even if you think you're disconnected from them. You're not. They are still there. They are supporting you 100%. So change this so that you can use their support and get yourself through this. So let's have a look at what you're expecting to happen. And for this, we have the 8 of Swords reversed. To me, this says you are currently expecting to stay trapped in these thoughts in your mind. And you don't actually believe you have the ability to find your way out. I am letting you know you do. If you take a close look at the figure on this card, all she has to do is take a step forward and she is free. It is as simple as that. And it is that simple for you as well. You have a way out of this. It is possible. You will get the help you need if you just ask for it. Everybody is wanting to support you. And you do have the courage. I know you're hoping it doesn't fail, but you do have the courage to get through this and to get back to this happiness and connection. You want that one reversed as well. So let's have a look at what's coming next with this. So we have the Page of Pentacles. And what this says to me is what's next is you actually might look around for some practical help, but because of these beliefs and thoughts, you're only going to accept help you see as tangible. It has to be physically something you can understand, something you can touch and hold on to. None of this kind of woo-woo stuff. All I can say is thoughts are not something you can touch and hold. So you need something you can't touch and hold to help you get rid of them and change them. That's usually the better way forward. So this might actually be, unfortunately, yet another limit that is going to stack up with your expectations that you can't do it and the fear that you're not sure you want to face, and the fact that you think you're not connected and don't have any support, even though you do. And the only thing pulling you through to the other side is, well, I hope I don't fail. So it's looking kind of bleak, I'm afraid. But this is a spiritual growth challenge, and it is a massive spiritual growth challenge. So let's have a look at the outcome, see what happens ultimately. And you couldn't have picked a more perfect card. We have the Queen of Swords reversed, as in identical to the focus card. This to me is telling me that unfortunately these expectations, these fears are going to be stronger than your hopes of just not being, able to get through it. And you're going to be so overburdened with this, so unwilling to let the guides and things you don't know, you can't physically touch, come in and help you, that all of this is going to overwhelm this very, very faint hope of getting through this. And what that means is you're going to stay exactly where you currently are. So one thing I will say is please know that this is not set in stone. No future is set in stone. The future does not actually exist because time does not exist. There is only now. There is only where you are right now. So for this to change, all that has to happen is one of these others to change, and then this has to change. So all you have to do is change what's coming next, what your expectations are, what you're hoping for, what you're afraid of. Any of those things change, this automatically has to change, and you will get a different outcome. So I am going to assume that this is not the outcome you want, because why would anybody actually want to stay stuck? If you do, that's totally fine. That is your choice. However, I'm going to assume that you don't want to stay stuck. And therefore, what you can do is change one of these. Start visualizing the fact that you will get through it. Start picking a new why, something that motivates you to get through it and get to the next level. Who are you going to be once you've gotten rid of this and, maybe be back in this absolute joy and freedom? That would be more motivating. What are you going to be like? So what? So you see a few beliefs that you've had your whole life, and I know they define you, but I have a video on what happens when the life that defines you ends. Watch that next. And I'll put a link in the comments for you. Maybe use that to help you get the courage to realize that it's okay to change. We all change. That is the only constant in life. You need to get through this if you want this to be different. So you need to change something, maybe get some different help, some help that you can't tangibly, physically touch. And your guides are here. They want to help you. So in case that you actually did have a question with this and want a yes/no answer, we have the Four of Swords. So your answer is yes. You can put this behind you. You can make your mind more peaceful. You just need the right help. Someone who can show you how to change a belief. Someone who's been through, whatever this stress bubble is specifically for you, if they've been through it and got through the other side, they can probably help you do the same. So they also would be another person who can help you. Your guides and your spirit team, they will help you if you let them. You've just got to let them, and you've got to just choose. Do you want to stay this? Or do you want this to be different? Because if you want this to be different, it is perfectly doable. But right now, as things stand, if nothing changes, you're staying right where you are. Drop a like and subscribe and comment if this resonated. And if you'd like a personal reading, and I am also an energy healer and I can help people change beliefs. If you would like that help, there's a link in the description below for a session. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I'll see you in the next video.